a true testament to where your life is heading is by you asking yourself a question with whatever you're doing now. It doesn't matter if you're building a business, maybe you're writing a book, you are partaking in a sports, you're like an athlete, or you're just focusing on your job or whatever you're doing, is that you ask yourself the question, if your heart is aligned with that project or that thing you're doing. Because if there's something I learned is that it can have a huge impact in the progress of everything we do, because if it doesn't feel right here, doesn't feel right with your intuition and your overall self, it can be very detrimental. You should always look for the signs that you do, that it feels like it's the thing that you should do. I'm gonna tell you a little story, but for a few years ago, I mentioned it before, I was part in a networking company. We were doing health products, so I was promoting omega-3 oils and some other supplements. I put in a lot of effort for maybe almost 2 years, and the forecast for the future was great. It looked very good because I was part of a very good team, very successful team. I know if I would put in more time and effort, I would have had a great career, you can say there. But something that was missing was my heart there. I wasn't aligned with it. I wasn't aligned with 100% dedication from my end. It didn't feel like I was doing the right thing. In the beginning, I fall for all the hype of the dream life and the hype of the money you can make and all that stuff. But eventually, when the time unfolded, I felt like something was missing. I felt like I should be doing something else. I felt like I should be talking about something else, because the things I was talking about wasn't really the things that I wanted to talk about, I always felt like I was missing out, or I was leaving out, I should say, critical information that could be very beneficial for people, information that could help them. So what I did was I started planning on doing a YouTube channel. I was actually was going to do it with my friend first, but then he kind of bailed out, and I felt like, okay, I'm not going to wait for him, I'm going to do it now. So I put up some videos, and immediately it felt really good. Even though it was kind of lame in the beginning, as it usually is when we start something new. But I knew that I was doing something right. I knew I was providing with value to people, because we got a nice comments in the beginning. And it just was very natural for me to do. It felt like I could talk about whatever I wanted, the things was important to me. And I didn't have to leave out anything that I felt people should know. So for me, that was the reason why I switched kind of like the careers, because the other one was probably a smarter move in short term to make money and to maybe live off it. But I knew that doing YouTube and building around this platform was going to be the most enjoyable for me and more beneficial for other people. So you should always ask yourself the question, like, are your heart aligned with what you do? Do you really feel like 100% here that this is what you should do? Because most people out there, they go to jobs, they go to whatever they're doing on the day by day, and they don't feel like aligned with it. It doesn't feel good, it doesn't feel natural. They're just doing it because they want to collect a paycheck, which means that you're just doing it for the money. And some people do it because they have been doing it for so many years that they are now afraid to switch career. They were afraid to start their own business because what the neighbor's gonna say, what the friend's gonna say, what the family member's gonna say. They're afraid of so many things that they miss out on so many opportunities. But when we just align with ourselves, we're living our true potential, and we are doing the things that we know we are supposed to do, everything's gonna be very easy. And you're also gonna notice that when you're doing something that you are not, that you feel you're 100% committed to, everything all the fears goes away right away. And you don't really care what people think. I started posting, as also when I was in a network company, I was kind of like doing two things, because I was posting a lot of stuff on internet, on social media. I was posting things that was very going against the narrative, you can say. It was very contradictory. It was information that people were not taking very pleasant, So I lost a lot of friends on that time. But who cares? Because I knew I was doing the right thing. I wanted the people to start to think differently. I wanted them to create an open mind so that they can consider other information. But I still know it felt very right when I was doing it. But now also when the times move on, I've been kind of like growing myself. I know that I don't really like to do that anymore because it doesn't matter. The people who are not ready to hear that and take it in, they just don't care. And they're probably gonna be even harder to listen to the information because they feel like they're forced. So, but when you start living more with the power inside of you and you live out the force, you will also see that things will start to connect with you, and it will go a lot better as well. You will see that the successes start coming your way. You will also see the opportunities start to rise in your life. And you will also see that you will be rewarded with things that's gonna help you to excel in whatever you're doing now. So whatever you're doing, ask yourself the question, because that's the reason why we always need to have a strong why. Why were we doing things? What is the reason for you? What is the reason for you to go to your job tomorrow? Because if it's just going to be to collect the paycheck, it's not going to be very lasting. It's not going to be very fulfilling for you, and you're probably going to quit soon because you're going to feel like this is just waste of time. So that's why it's so important that we need to ask ourselves the why. When I asked my question in the company there, what is my why here? I didn't really have a strong why. Sure, the why could be like, I want freedom, I want to make money online, I want to live wherever I am, I want to be able to travel wherever I want. But as long as it's not aligned with the most deepest core purpose in my life, that I think that I value the most important, and that I value could be the most beneficial for other people, it's a completely no, and then I can't do it. So I was struggling with keep going with it, and then eventually I just felt like I kind of oost, sorry for the words here, I kind of left it little by little, like kind of my energy invested in it kind of left off a little by little, and eventually I just felt like, no. And when I start doing this, I don't really have time to do that now anyway. So, and I see the potential that I can do with this. You can create so much around these channels. It's incredible. Because I mean, if you don't do the things that you know is right here, you're kind of like, you're not only living a life that is not true to yourself, but you're also like, you're living out the great potential that the world can see what you have to offer. You are living out what can be an amazing thing for other people that lives here. Because we all have a special gift. We all have something that we know that we should be doing. That's why it's so funny when we were kids, if you think about it. We always knew what we were gonna do. We never stopped and asked ourselves, what should I do now? Maybe I should this and this. You just knew it right away because it was so natural to you. You didn't have the mind that was messing up everything. You didn't have the mind that was like saying to you, oh, this is not good. What are the people gonna say now? What are they gonna say? What are you gonna say when you're out with your kids and you're playing? I mean, when I was a kid, we were playing around with so many different games. It was so fun. You were living your life every time. You were never afraid of anything. You just did it. I like to say it, but the boys before, they were always alpha when they were young kids. But eventually, when the program starts to kick in from the society, from the parents, from their friends and families, you just start to become a beta. You start to become a coward. You start to becoming afraid of everything. And you're always starting to look it's almost like you're starting to look for the excuses to not do things. And I think it's so sad, but we just move away from everything we already know about ourselves, what we should do, because we get afraid. But like I said, when we just can start somewhere and break barriers from that end, the potential is, there's no limit for the potential. So to summarize the video, those are the two questions I would ask yourself. Sorry, my phone died there when I was recording it, so I had to recharge it. But yeah, to summarize the video, ask yourself those questions. Like, is your heart aligned with whatever you're doing? Like where you're heading in your life? And also like, the why, the question why. Why are you doing this? Because you will find the answers there. You will find that the things you should not do, the things that you should do. So by just asking yourself those questions, you will automatically know exactly where you're heading and where you should not go, so that you are 100% certain that you're doing the right thing, and that you are first of all living out the life that you want, to be true to yourself and be living your authentic self, because that's what you know is the right thing, and also living out your true potential for the life that you want to create. Because I mean, there's so many people out there who are successful, they are rich as fuck, and they are still miserable. They're still living in depression, because deep down they know that you should be doing something else, but they have succeeded with the money, but they don't have the passion for it. So sure, I could have been one of those guys who maybe build huge in the business, but deep down I know I was doing something that is not 100% right for me, and I was able to take that decision quite early. But sure, I spent a lot of time there. I met some cool people, built good relationships and built friendships. So, but I still have those people in my life. But that project is not for me, and I know it. I mean, it can be a period where you don't really know what you're gonna do also. And I think that's very important, that we also take the time off doing too much things, because we easily get caught up in this hamster wheel, just do things all the time, because that's kind of like what people expect us to do in this modern world. Like, it's the narrative. Oh, you have to be busy all the time, you have to do this. It's kind of actually the opposite, if we're gonna be honest with ourselves. Like, can you be happy with yourself and in peace with not doing too much, and just enjoying life as it is? Because we're always chasing things in the future that we think is going to bring the peace and the happiness that we want. So take your time off and let your heart guide you to the thing that you should do, because it will happen. I promise you. It's no other way around. And like I said, it doesn't mean it's going to happen right away or overnight. It can take maybe months or years, but you'll know exactly what you're going to do. It's no way around it. So I think those words are pretty nice to wrap up the video. And if you liked it, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more videos. And yeah, have a great weekend. We talk soon. Take care now.